Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
You are most welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell, turn it to all posts so that you'll be the first to receive any latest updates that will be loaded onto the channel. Please don't miss out. Don't miss out. Don't starve your friends too from getting the latest gist on politics. So by that doing, I'll urge you to share it with your friends on your contact list and your WhatsApp groups as well. Do leave a comment. Your comments are most helpful to us, please. Thank you. Join me listening to what we have for you today. It's very interesting. Where some judge is involved, saying this time he hates the president. He hates Nana Addo Dankwa at this moment, and also went after the Chief Justice for delaying justice on the LGBTQ plus lawsuit filed against it, or the petition filed against the LGBT people. Thank you. Join me listening to it.
Who are demonstrating against Galamsey. His job is to be defending the interest of the taxpayer in court. And he's supposed to have filed in 14 days, 10 weeks, 140 days. He's not done 70 days. He's not done that from 14 days. And he should go and file his response. And then we continue to the attorney, the Chief Justice. Now I catch the Chief Justice say, you don't have to. There is nowhere in our legal jurisprudence that says that the Chief Justice must wait for the Attorney General before she proceeds on the case, because justice delayed is justice denied. And
justice hurried is justice buried.
But we have been on this since the 5th of March this year. We really have not made any progress. So there is no hurry here. And in fact, we are not saying give us judgment tomorrow. We are saying give us a timetable. Yeah. Let us know what time are you looking to work on this. And you remember when I came here, I raised the issue about her saying she was going on the judicial vacation. You see that I've been vindicated because her brothers on the bench worked during the judicial vacation.
Yes, a judicial vacation. Some of
Justice
the courts
Abdullahi and Justice Yoni Kolendi sat. It was a decision at the Supreme Court level. It's a decision of the panel to decide if they will sit or not. So the decision to stay any further action was a decision of the Chief Justice and the rest of her panel. And that's why we are saying, say, for us, Senior Apostle Nyamiche, any chief imam, because apart from Apostle Nyamiche, Osha yen cry say, yen ye or yetre.
Yes.
The chief imam also made very telling statements. Abra yeko pay keti call on him to inform him about this. Or say e nyamie juma, and I or say Sam George, men share say who yet nya who pel, and nya who to me, and I will name Jena Odi. Nyame asha wumu. Ena ordinasem ashe wenum enti adwuma wo ye no eye nyame adwuma na wo ye enti koso na ye taiwechi. On Friday he caused all the mosque around Fadama and Central Accra to make an announcement about Tuesday's demonstration.
Said they should all join.
They must all be present.
I'll come back to you, Honorable, and no am I in details.
And
where
the last one, because I've spoken about Apostle Nyamiche and the Chief Imam.
Numo Gbelemfu.
Yes. Who is the chief priest of the Osu Traditional Council, custodian of the land, spiritual custodian, traditional custodian of the land, has called on President Akuffo Addo. In fact, the day we met him, he said, if you look at the way President Akuffo Addo always talks about his beautiful Rebecca, he doesn't talk about the beautiful Anthony. And so if the president has enjoyed the beauty of a woman, and is close to 80, or is 80.
Yes.
And he's 80, and for 80 years has enjoyed the beauty of a woman. The president must also ensure that our children coming have the opportunity to live to 80 with the joy of a woman as a man, and with the joy of a man as a woman. And he's representing tomorrow with his Wulome. So you have both Christian, Muslim, and traditional faiths representing tomorrow. People of all political and ethnic colors are coming out, because Echina Yensha party atade biamba ho. Echina Ghana color. Ye ma obi obeba ho flag. Ghana flag. Because this is under the banner of the nation.
Of the nation. Wow. Advocates for Christ. Adentina sa demonstration here China very important. Edemamu any of mine.
Yo, Lady Kai Mechia, a tear for you now.
Omojoso.
Na me bisa asem baako. Why na owo ye man Ghana we mu a bema ni bema na ewo no. Ana oba ene oba na ewo no. Oba ni oba hia, ombetumi awo ana. Enti se ye mpese ye man Ghana ya se behye a ye besa owo man yi mu a bra ochina. Se wo mpese wo baba no ebebe fia be ka kire safi oye bema na opese oni oba foforo kotena hwe amanoni ya chi amanfo bi atumu esani se ebia oye baker oye cake bema ni bema koye wedding omusi ontutu cake momo osi ontu ya chi na atumu sana opese eba kroma ana se wo mpese bibi sabe betua yen ewo kroma a teacher for echirade wo school akola ondi 10 years say me bema no menye bema bi me yoba teacher si oda bi wo ye bema ya chi teacher na tumu wakoda prison esa ne say bema si onye bema biom akola ondi 10 years enti se wo mpese sa betu ye wo Ghana kroma a mesre ochina fa wo Ghana atare wo black shirt jersey bi afana she wo red shirt afana she wo black shirt afana she bra ye be ma flag na yen kire impenyimfo a ewo court say Ghana fo nyina enji LGBT semsemi entumu enti obia mbra obia owo oman yimu a ogidi se enise adiwei ekoso wo ye man yimu no ombra no mbeka yen ho.
The other interesting thing is when the argument comes up, the concept of choice, say nipa bia nyankopon amayen that liberty to make choices. And it is obi choice ne say ono so ebe engage in sadie na why should it be your problem?
This is a very 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 good question. Where your question be a manage hopa. Nedi kan mene honorable akọ imfidi bibiri so enem na asem ba ku bia ka manage hopa ne say sebise mpreduasa enru anajo ade a meye wo midem wunnim won so ade a wo ye wo wudem minnim na ade a eye asefem ema ye ne say adentia na ade a wo pese wo ye no wo pese obia enso eye bi ade a yen yesi yen amamre mu no ene yen gina ene yen fa enye ya amamre na wo hyese obia embeye bi eno eho na asem no wo no na de we nyina ehya ase from comprehensive sexuality education sebi ye pese ye kire nkola wo nkola ntotofiwa impemu agromu nsem ewo crèche ewo primary school no ko sha ase ewo na enne amene wuka sei ejumako bebre ewo amanone twi omuhu efi LGBT nyema ho ejumako akese bebre just 3 or 4 days ago Toyota has withdrawn all their participation in Pride Month and Pride Month activities. Companies bebre enti adentia na ewo se yen ade a omo akwakoso ahwe hu se enye a omo san mu kire no. Sodom and Gomorrah adentia na nyankopon ma oja etofiri soro egu wo mo so. Mimi ya archaeology miko university. Daachi uko hu ndompe egu ho a. Adisuade hunu amaye hu se hu dompe we a utumu se we ye bema we ye oba abofred features a utumi hu show me anything I kire say we ye gay we ye lesbian in the morphology of man. It does not exist. Before now LGBT mentality was classified as madness. Then asisa
but you are we a Christoni advocates for Christ means we a Christopher you want to impose religious beliefs on other people.
If it was only the Christians who were pushing this agenda, I would have been quiet to this your question. As a country, all of us, now we as advocates for Christ Ghana push the Christian agenda on national issues. But this is a situation where all the traditional authority leaders in this country, every other religion, mention one religion in Ghana, recognized religion that supports LGBT. So why should we, the Christians, also be quiet? So we are joining all other faiths. You heard that the chief imam, aya announcement say Obia Ambra. Sana sorry bebre. Oh many munina so impenyfo ediwa dance say yen nyina embra. Na yen kire yen man mu mpenyfo e wo court ne say ade we yen jintum. Indeed, Yaya service bebre to show that more than 90% of Ghanaians do not support LGBT.
Oka more issue statement. Make us a statement from the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, a Greater Accra Regional Secretariat. I must say, dearly beloved in Christ, all zonal, sub-zonal, and heads of GPCC member churches. Invitation to a family value march. Dear esteemed leaders, we are writing to formally invite all pastors and congregations to participate in the Family Value March, a peaceful demonstration against the delay of the court process on the verdict, which seeks to pave the way for the president's signature of the bill into law. This crucial initiative aims to protect the innocence of our children. To the date for the demonstration, about which is tomorrow, time 7 a.m., Assembly Point, Obra Sport, Iowa Cycle. Now they continue and say, we urge all heads of member churches and zonal leaders to massively mobilize their congregations to partake in the march. Your presence and participation are invaluable in making a positive impact. Thank you for your prompt response and cooperation. This is signed by Apostle Enoch Osafo, only a chairman, Greater Accra Region, Edema GPCC, sorry. And that's the statement council no issue say into we a sofo. Now what sorry no a member of GPCC in Kwadia mobilize all pastors, all congregants to join in this peaceful march. But I remember a coalition of Muslim organizations. Aida Zakaria, Prince Zakaria. Prince Zakaria Dino, a popular name, but only a no so later. But as a practicing Muslim, I don't know you're interested in topic way.
Medase Obi Mechia ETF winina.
Yes.
Before me answer on can me fuck it to be short.
Okay.
Question now. Okay. Or last question I will be shy a brother no. Well, say usually I love it when we don't tackle some way based on religion. You tackle no out of religion because in prepi omo practice pano omo njinyame because odinyame suro eka ho a onye nti no a ode ato nchen. Na yemra science is a level field, level play field. Ofa eduaba bia wo two parts. The stamens, which is the male part, and the pistil, which is the female part. Nuaba, nuya, enyamia bono, obomu, obane bema, omushia. The transfer of pollen grains. Efi the bema size, stamens, no ba, pistil, or ba parts ni na collectively in a friend of pistil. Na a produce, eduano no. Abua preku. Oba ena one bema eko aboa kraman aboa nentwie unhu se nentwie ana kraman bema fo kraman bema kraman betimi efi kokomlemle ha akomadina akodi oba echi anadwo muni nyina owia ahomache wasa befi intino law of nature as shadow as se eyo oba ne bema na enye obema ne bema. Okay. Inti, thank you very much for me substantive question.
Yes.
Oba kremosumu a ye gidi nea esi Sodom and Gomorrah. Quran ekyere say sa emre no Osha, the description is saying Yami toja.
Yes.
Egu Sodom and Gomorrah. So Quran description and say Jackekeo. A pebbles. Flaming pebbles. Abo. It's no a bow. O feel pebble no kwane je ni mu anka. O be feel na yes. It's omo way chire omu Sodom. No omu no say jana na eba but within them were pebbles. Nyame wie ye no Quran kire say osan kan kuro no gu ye odane no butu ye and I made it history. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala oyesa na ojai ne ekoso e na sin Sodom and Gomorrah na echeso ne ye ni nyame nso oye just God. Oye just God. Na mehwe me ma mienu ene bema ba ko ame wonyame pengu na echina omo aba say they have come home with same sexes say wenum na mpese me ware no mentimi eni ne ehye right from CSE ekun ya toate CSE wo hwe ne ewo CSE no mu a ene se ne omo ahyehye no fefefe anka omo pick up from kindergarten na omo achira kopem se omo edu acceptance level a strategy nkrofo no the strategy na enam omo strategize say in the next 20 to 50 years no obi abeji atumu aka so we just say oba na ye omo ade privately and fire ho se nya menua no kan ye no se mo ye mo ade privately one of the oldest immoral acts and sinful acts that is attached to man way eka ho
yes
because if you Sodom and Gomorrah penso but ye see ukukwemu memma bonten emfa hye ye nyina ye kon ne ye mene se chinchina ye nyintum na ye ma ye mansua chinchina wo ye obema me hu se wo ye kodwo na wonam wo muscles wo beti asori wo si da bi me hu se wo ye adwoa. How can I see you as adwoa when you are kodwo? Na o force me say I should rather see you as adwoa instead of kojo. Say baby di edu no.
Say manya me mom na
me manya me hu na me say hey kojo o si debi ma fra kojo a ma fra wa adwoa o na ma wa beti akakra akaka ma fra wa adwoa. Enti no ye bechi wa no abodwe say ye bechi watum. Me nua kan ye no. Obi
yes
me kremoni kremo e ma me kwan say me ware ba ku mienu miensen nan. Uyi kremosem fimu a ye tradition amane ne amamre minyi no akanfo bebre amenimu o meja biabo ne yere no me 3 ebinum nko ekobe 7 na ye tradition the African tradition and na ohwa naturally no nyame bo be ma bia as a polygamous animal nka nyame anye ye polygamous nka obi wuware wie ya pe na system no a shut down uhu akosua menu bi wo bebi a hwe how akono bi ama but one madam nwie na ko hu sebe oba bi adeja wo be hu se kwaku ama ni musu ase ho nti nyame ye wo se o ye polygamous animal sa na yete yanom se de bi eno na ye bone wo ware bi ka ho ye bone wo se ye chiw however ukofa obema yonku be ma echi dia eye oseye emre bi ombedi ye so no omo ma yete ase ye se homosexuality nye bone section 104 right
yes
it is what they left us no
that's in 1960
yes and I ye yes ehhehhe sa amra no ene omuko ya sebi sua tra ne jimie ebofra ye no ena omosi o be ma befo be ma efumponko anyamfu be ma mfu efumponko be ma ye kraman be ma nyamfu kraman be ma ye say edu say be ma befo be ma nti omo asan ba ye mistake emra na ye hwehwe ma mo no na e bone nti say no mo hwe na mo nyintu okay Professor Mills apen so I think you went to England also no mo epeso mo ko asiesa na prof said dey bi onyintu nti ye de kakra ne say echina yanwa menka Hausa yanwa ye na musulmai assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh alle kai mu gobe kowa efto inshallah by 7 a.m. mu duka mu congregate daga Obra Sport. So mu yi wanga match, mu yaki against Luadi. Mu push the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, her lordship, her ladyship, Madame Gertrude Tokonu. So to bamu clear timelines. Kanda magana ndezo ekai gabanta. So agani position stance in bill na yanzu, so that from urina musamu president kuma a accent to the bill na izama law. So ngale ya da gobe barki su bata zuwa gida ta ce kaman ita da Asana za su suna neman su yaure, ko a samu Abu da Musa kuma suna wuriwai wanga partner na ne. Allah kiyaye mu da wannan. Isa gobe Allah ya da yan Fadama, yan Nima, yan Ashama, yan Madina, yan Shukura, yan Zongo, yan Kaulin, kowa efto eso mu masap daga Obra Sport, inshallah.
Wow. Ma me sign corner for some jobs.
Obi, something interesting.
Oh, okay.
I just received a call.
From
a media house.
Okay.
They have just finished covering an impromptu emergency press conference called by the Chief Justice.
Right now.
Right now. I'm telling you, look, they are doing everything to try and stop this thing, but it won't stop. The Chief Justice has just called a press conference.
No, if they are say be or can't assem say be or the timeline about now.
Debbie,
Okay.
or say on him on tia say ntia say yeba no ho echina. Na enye ono eye defendant no na on file. But Madam Chief Justice ye be ba echina. Na ye ba echina nimdie kakra ye wo. En na efie nyansan kakra ye wo no. Ye de be kire o say tumi no e wo wonsem. We have given the Chief Justice power to determine the pace and adjudication of cases. It is not in the place of a defendant or a plaintiff to determine the pace of a case. Obi, work on law school. You know what I'm talking about. But my friend lawyer Bia or Ghana. Say, where do you hear? Even circuit court judge cry and can't near Chief Justice name. I mean a Chief Justice with the greatest of respect.
No, but say Abia, we know ye. You know everything around this case, no, is special, and you don't treat it as
is this
more
Obi?
special
Obi,
than the
election petition was done with a timeline.
Yes.
The election petition was done with a timeline.
Yes.
So why can't this be done with a timeline? Can you imagine? Say, in 2012, now President Mahama was sworn in. And at the 8 months.
Yes.
And look, the Supreme Court came back and said, it did not help the country so well, civil society. Until they now brought a 90-day timeline.
Yes.
So within 3 months, it must be completed. Yes. Until 2020.
But I don't know, it was in a document, the rules of court document, the guided election petitions.
So in 2020,
yes.
Imagine, President Mahama, the case called, against President Akuffo Addo and the Electoral Commission. Now Electoral Commission back court now but catch a judge and say, "Unim, you're ready say be year semano." And say, "Would they my 1.5 years ye kwaba?"
No, sir, even if you want to apply for leave to file out of time, it should be reasonable. It has to meet the reasonability.
They have not even applied for leave to file outside the time. So if the Chief Justice is giving us, forgive me, with the greatest of respect, such lame excuse. No, it's a very lame excuse. No, that's how we do man kokra. Yes, it's a very lame excuse.
Excuse, I want to lame is a bit too.
Sabita fashe excuse
one ne nyade
udwin ho a enye ye ensese you say ensese no matter how you try to rationalize it for her leadership, the Chief Justice, madam,
yeah, somebody just sent me a link to a story published by City Newsroom.
Yes, on
the 13th of September 2024. I think say around the time I must share initial date. No, or say Judicial Service anti-LGBTQ plus bail cases delayed due to incomplete submissions. Also, the Judicial Service of Ghana has stated that parties involved in the anti-LGBTQ plus bail cases, quote, have not completed the work they are to do before a hearing by the Supreme Court can be conducted, unquote. This announcement follows reports of the sponsors of the bill planning to protest against the Chief Justice on September 17th. In the report, the MP for Ningo Prampram, a sponsor of the bill, indicated that they would march against the Chief Justice on September 17th in a protest dubbed Family Values March. And reasons are more, and it says, the Judicial Service, in a statement issued on Friday, noted that Richard Sky's case began with a writ filed on March 5th, 2024. As of July 31st, 2024, when the Supreme Court went on recess, neither Parliament, which is the first defendant, nor the Attorney General, who is the second defendant, had filed a defense in the form of their statement of case. The Judicial Service of Ghana emphasized that the three parties could only file the memorandum of issues for the trial when the statement of case are in place, adding, until then, the Supreme Court cannot hear the case. Inti, even Parliament, they also among you.
Obi. Would you back school?
Yes.
Means me doing back school.
Yes.
Now, teacher yet and castle on chair madi. Or see what my homework.
Yes.
Your man for homework number.
Yes.
And John so tiho and show my dear say or train say a down the homework nebano. Are you telling me that the Chief Justice does not have the power, and that the courts, the Supreme Court of Ghana, does not have the power to enforce the timelines in the procedure of the Court of Ghana? The procedure says that in 14 days you must file your defense, your statement of defense. And I'm saying we've gotten past 63 days, and the court doesn't think that they have a responsibility to ensure or state that, look, if you don't do this, the Supreme Court has the power to say, if defense doesn't file this case, I will proceed to give judgment. This is law 101.
Inti, why, and this is the other logical question, Inti, why say at this point we feel say when a president assembly na court, why is the president out of this?
Because you see Obi, me President Akuffo Addo, me penna sense here. I won't hide it because his complicity in Galamsey alone makes me dislike him. But I cannot hold him responsible for what he's not responsible. That will become hatred. I don't hate him. I don't hate him. There is nothing before the president. Parliament, per Article 106(6) and 7 of the Constitution of the Republic, has to transmit the bill to the president.
To the president, sure.
Se siano, se president ne shasio, se nyo no shasio. Case
that transmission has been put on hold.
Has been put on hold by this case.
Okay.
Now, what is putting the transmission on hold is not the substantive case. It is the injunction writ.
Yes.
The injunction.
Yes.
Now, the injunction case has been heard in full.
Yes. Decision on which has been deferred.
Thank you.
So, you see, when the Chief Justice is making this argument about the substantive case, the Chief Justice had every room and responsibility to rule on the injunction because there were two different things. Even if you remember, even on the 17th, when Counsel for Parliament, Tadio Sorry, wanted to introduce a certain document, Okachan said she won't allow him do it because it is for the substantive case.
Substantive case.
So he should wait for that because she's hearing
the injunction application.
And so the council has focused on that and delivered that to you. After there, who say mean to me my judgment, I just admitted the whole case, and now you want to shift the back or pass the blame.
The issue they say
she should
hearing of the whole of the substantive case, and a yenya data on be here.
We don't even know when. We don't even know when. She's not even told us when.
Okay.
And our argument is this: whilst you hear the substantive case, the injunction ought to be dispersed with, so that if you decide, if the Supreme Court decides, said they are going to grant the injunction, then Parliament knows that there's an injunction on us.
Okay.
If we choose to appeal that, which is a right we have in the dispensation of justice, we will then invoke that right. If you rule that there can be no injunction on Parliament, then Parliament will proceed with the transmission to the President. And whilst the substantive case is going on, Article 106, 8, 9, and 10 will kick in with the President. So the problem of why, and that's why we can't go to the President today. It is the Chief Justice. She is solely responsible for the quagmire we find ourselves in.
Yeah, but the constant reference to say the Chief Justice should rule. He is only head of a panel. In the Anya decision per se. I think we should be minded by a non-so because I think a 5-member or a 7-member panel. 5-member panel. And she's only chairing, or that's why a president of a panel. In the Anya be ruling per se. And I think it's
the Chief Justice.
But she's the Chief Justice of the
I agree.
You understand?
I agree. The administrative role as Chief Justice when
I started and I made reference to the Obrin crying case. Obrin crying case. I referenced Justice Abdullah Tanko. Why? Because he was president of that panel.
Yeah, but you brought in
Yoni Kolendi.
You know why because he's a member of the panel.
No, because Yoni Kolendi wrote a quorum judgment.
Okay.
He wrote another judgment agreeing with Justice Abdullah Tanko. So that's why I referenced him. Else I would not have referenced the rest of the people on the panel. Today, when people talk about the election petition case of 2012, who did they call? Atuguba was president of the panel. Was the presiding judge? Was he the only one on the panel? So the Chief Justice cannot run away from the fact that she's one Chief Justice and two presiding judge of that panel.
Okay, it is here no, but why don't you also
tell the Chief Justice that the time she's spending on press conferences, she should spend it writing her judgment.
At the end of the day, also a narrative and as a side of the story, they have to tell the side of the
platform
story. Minim. The other
time, the Chief Justice press conference. When was the last time you saw a Chief Justice in Ghana do press conference? She's done 2. You see this story you are referencing?
Yes.
Check the dates.
Yes, 13 September.
It is 2 days after they wrote to me. I told you they wrote to me on the 11th.
Yes.
So after writing to me, they are going to the press. The Judicial Service and the Chief Justice, the Judicial Service of Ghana and the Chief Justice of Ghana should stop engaging in a media banter with me.
Yeah, but the point is
I am not interested in the media banter. I'm a lawmaker. I have brought a private member's bill and done my job as I am paid for by the taxpayer. The Chief Justice is paid by the taxpayer to give judgment in cases, not to be holding press conferences.
No, but the point is, apart from you making
tell me
the
any
law,
Chief Justice. Tell me any Chief Justice in the history of Ghana. You see, in the history of this,
no Chief Justice has also been confronted. No, Chief Justice, any Chief Justice,
because no Chief Justice has conducted himself or herself in this manner.
Maybe the NSA. It is not wrong, Sam George. Say, a sponsor of the bill is on the media, we interview on an issue. And you think the Chief Justice cannot also speak to the issue because of a judge? No, I don't think that is fair. In the end of the day, we should allow, also a view on the way on also
I have come to the media.
Primary duty.
Exactly. I've come to the media after completing my primary duty for which I am paid by the taxpayer, making laws.
Yes.
Mejuma, me emrashe be new. Onu na ejuma ne se obema judgment obetna court ho.
But why are you not also granted? Say yes, the Supreme Court all the powers to determine how this case would go, how fast it would be adjudicated upon there. But why don't you also advise the parties? So they should do the needful, but including even the Parliament of Ghana.
And that's what I'm saying. Obi, there's no case. I'm not expecting any judgment from the Attorney General. I'm not expecting any judgment from Council to Parliament.
Yes.
I'm expecting judgment from the Chief Justice. Listen, the reason why the bill has still and can still not be transmitted today is not because the Attorney General has failed to file. It is not because Tadiosori has failed to file. It's because the Chief Justice has decided to stay judgment.
Yes. Not to proceed
on the injunction.
Sure.
Because it is not the main case that is holding the transmission. It is the injunction that is holding the transmission. And the case on the injunction has been fully heard. All submissions made. All that is left is a judgment or a ruling of the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has already given a ruling on a similar matter in March this year, Roxin Dafiamepo versus Attorney General, where the Supreme Court has ruled that the Supreme Court cannot stop a constitutional body from carrying out a constitutional function. Parliament is a constitutional body. Our constitutional function is to transmit legislations that we pass to the president. So she has no power to stop us. So why is she using the back door to stop parliament? Because her failure to give a judgment has left us in an abeyance. And say, one man injunction. Then so want to mean so basically, in effect, technically, an injunction is in place. And that's what we are saying, that the Chief Justice has no power to do that. It is an arbitrary and capricious use, according to Article 296 of the Constitution, of her powers.
In Tinyame Adumechna, a petition will be presented to the Chief Justice.
Of course,
and then to the Attorney General.
Yes.
And then to Parliament of Ghana.
No Parliament in count.
That's why I'm filing your processes. Why is it Muyi Omofim? So why are you then going to the AG? Why are you then going to the Attorney General?
In her letter to me, she mentioned the age. She mentioned the age.
But the Judicial Service has told you, say, Parliament is on filing your process.
We don't have a problem with even adding Parliament's lawyer. Tadio, sorry. We don't have a problem.
Okay.
One person, a petition, but and the millions of Ghanaians is that the Constitution should be allowed to work.
Absolutely.
And the Constitution's working is for Parliament to transmit the bill.
My Memusa final question will be about where's the Obi? Okay. No, but we no question where a question was some George here and we are about say Obi, this Parliament is coming to an end in December.
Yes.
Why can't all these demonstrations wait for the next Parliament and the next President? Sam George.
The President, you know, say on Namhono, siren now using. Why can't you also stop using it from now till December? I mean, why is the president enjoying all the benefits of being president from now till December? I mean, you see, it is this level of thinking from some citizens that emboldens the despotic action of the president and irresponsible action from leaders. Because you are paying the person, giving him the benefits of state, and you say that for 60 days, because I got 60 days, no, you enjoy. And they almost want to see from. But if he's going to continue to enjoy and fly around the world as president of Ghana, he must fulfill his duty as president of Ghana. But for people to think that we have different standards, if this was John Mahama or any other person, Professor Mills, would they have argued this? It is this kind of attitude and behavior from some citizens that has emboldened President Akuffo Addo to act in a responsible manner in which he is. Imagine the president sitting with organized labor and telling them that they should stand down their demonstration. Yet that day, his government issued 13 new mining licenses in forest reserves. The same day. It is that kind. It is this kind of behavior that is empowering the irresponsibility of our president.
If you say irresponsibility, no. Sam George, relax.
When it comes to Galamsey, I won't relax.
I know.
Because Obi,
we are all passionate about Galamsey.
It is an evil, wicked thing.
I know.
Obi, are you aware that right now even yam from Ghana is being banned?
I know. I've said this.
Obi, how can we sit here and look? It is simply because the president's daughters are involved in Galamsey.
Now, also the infant out in the name. No. Sam George, me bacho. Alaji, Sam George, relax. Oh, Tobo, relax. Sam George, Tobo. Alaji, can the opposite work?
You have an MP standing saying they won't end Galamsey.
Sam George, relax. Alaji can the opposite work? Sorry.
Metunkra ama ye mame Chief Justice. Mechiano baby owo bia na mepese nindie mu oye mame oye obatan owo ma ne ba bema eba ne ho se wenya kofi menu bi opese o ware.
But only me challenge with the meba. I don't want us to personalize that thing. Say Chief Justice because that is not it.
Okay, the Chief Justice and all panel members of Sane panel now or preside over no. They should Chief Justice because say on your presiding and you're not presiding over panel no po. I'm appealing to her as the administrative head of the judicial service.
Of the judiciary.
Yeah, mommy. Oma any that posterity will surely judge all of them. Kwanya Omofaswa handled this bill. She's a Christian. She fellowship. This is the time we ought to stop paying lip service to the warming of pews. Now, you use your outfits and demonstrate our religious standing.
Yeah, but when you sit in her position as a Supreme Court judge, otisa akonwa nimu a enye about religious leanings, so because you are there to dispense justice and you dispense justice based on what is before you. In the honor, sorry, our corner in religion in play role.
My brother, law no, me lawyer.
Yes,
but the law was couched with in tandem with our culture and the spirit of this country. What you say? The law was not couched for people in Pluto. The law was couched. Ghana had year Juman Ghana for over 90% of Ghanaians. There's several research. Any bill we are doing over 90%. Before we finished drafting the bill, we had told the entire country engagement with traditional, religious, almost everybody here, all stakeholders, and majority of Ghanaians side with this.
Okay.
So if our Mother Chief Justice Nyame Dachi, who knows Kukwamun Sem, Yakumamun Sem, he will call you each by one and judge you based on dispensation of your work.
Yes.
Now, how will she feel? When she had the opportunity to really defend her faith.
Medas mamintie menuane yemfa nkomono ensie wa another interview or say edi nyambo echna nantie ne be start from Obra Sport,
but ye be sha safi
Obra Sport na mwafa hen route be na mo police for agree
ye ni police for agree route. In fact eno apo omune ye mpanyimfo nanti on the route.
Okay,
ye be do TUC
okay,
na ya fa e de akopie
ministries and I said court complex
to serve the Attorney General.
Okay,
if you court complex so na ya call Supreme Court
on so
Chief Justice.
Okay.
Thank you for staying tuned. PENDREAM TV really appreciate your time. Please, if you have not yet subscribed as a new member, please do so for us. Hit the notification bell for more updates. Like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can also leave a comment after watching or send us your voice notes on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277128777, showing on your screen as well. Thank you. More coming your way. Stay tuned by turning on the notification.
Dedi kama amena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.